Thanks for joining us. It is Tuesday, November 8th. Live from Seoul, I'm Han Daeun. Just 6 days after naming a new prime minister, President Park Geun-hye has withdrawn the nomination and given Parliament the option of proposing its own candidate. She made the proposal during a rare visit to the National Assembly for talks with the Assembly Speaker this morning, a move seen by many as part of her efforts to handle the abuse of power scandal sparked by her longtime confidant, Choi Soon-sil. Song Ji-sun starts us off.
President Park Geun-hye has accommodated an opposition party demand to withdraw her nomination of a new prime minister. In a 13-minute meeting with National Assembly Speaker Chung Se-kyun on Tuesday, President Park offered to give governing authority to a new nominee recommended by Parliament.
국회에서 여야 합의로 총리의 좋은 분을 추천해 주신다면 그분을 총리로 임명해서 실질적으로 내각을 생활을 나갈 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
President Park also called on lawmakers to help the government tackle the economic challenges confronting the nation, pledging that the new prime minister will be guaranteed full authority over domestic affairs. The Assembly Speaker said in response that lawmakers would work together in a bipartisan manner to find a qualified person to fill the position. Both acknowledged the gravity of current crisis surrounding the president.
The president's crisis is a crisis of state affairs and of nation, and thus leads to greater public woes. Our top priority is reassuring the people.
The presidential office said it will try to arrange a meeting between the president and the political party leaders. It said all the details of the new prime minister's authority and setting up a new cabinet will be decided through talks with the parliament. Song Ji-sun, Arirang News.
The reaction among the rival parties to the meeting between the president and the Assembly Speaker was mixed. The ruling Saenuri party said the president's message was clear and she demonstrated her will to overcome the current political crisis. It also criticized the opposition bloc for what it said was a lack of cooperation. The main opposition Democratic Party of Korea said the president was unwilling to listen and her thoughts dominated the meeting instead. The minor opposition People's Party was critical of what the president said at the meeting, saying she wasn't clear enough about withdrawing her choice for a prime minister. The opposition parties plan to hold a general meeting of their lawmakers tomorrow to discuss how to resolve the ongoing political crisis. Meanwhile, the prosecution's investigation into the Choi Soon-sil scandal is picking up ahead of steam, and today they raided the offices of the nation's biggest tech firm, Samsung Electronics. Samsung is accused of indirectly giving millions of dollars to Choi's daughter to support her horseback riding profession. Kim Ha-sung has more on that.
Prosecutors raided the Seoul headquarters of Samsung Electronics Tuesday as part of their probe into the Choi Soon-sil scandal. It's alleged Samsung may have given more than $3 million in 2015 to a German company, Wit Exports, owned by Choi and her daughter. Prosecutors say Choi used a third of the money to buy a horse for her daughter Chung Yura, who was previously a member of the South Korean national equestrian team. Choi Soon-sil has been charged with abuse of power and fraud by using her close ties with President Park to force Korean conglomerates to donate money to two foundations, Miru and K-Sports. Samsung is known to have donated over $17 million, the most among 53 companies that together gave around $70 million. In addition, state prosecutors are looking into whether Cha Eun-taek, a music video producer who had close ties to Choi, meddled in state-led cultural projects. The prosecution said Tuesday that it questioned a key person, only identified by his family name Kim, late last week about whether Cha engaged in deciding what company would be in charge of a national brand project called Creative Korea. Cha is deemed a key suspect in the scandal, but he's currently known to be in China. Prosecutors have been accelerating their probe to search for new evidence into the activities of Choi Soon-sil and former top aides to President Park. Kim Ha-sung, Arirang News.
And it appears prosecutors are determined to get to the bottom of the conglomerates' involvement in building the two controversial sports foundations, Mir and K Sports. The Special Investigative Bureau that's looking exclusively into the 최순실 case said this afternoon that it will conduct a thorough investigation into all the firms suspected of having links to Choi and the two foundations. Their investigation will likely focus on the history behind the corporation's multi-million-dollar donations, and if necessary, they will also summon the chief executives of the groups. We'll have more updates as the story develops. Over in the U.S., voters in Dixville Notch, New Hampshire have cast the first ballots of presidential election, and the results have been tallied with Hillary Clinton beating Donald Trump 4-2. One vote was cast for Gary Johnson, and there was one write-in for 2012 presidential candidate Mitt Romney. The town, which has a population of just 12 people, voted as the clock struck midnight on November 8th, or at 2 p.m. Korea time. All other polling stations will open across the nation beginning at 6 a.m. And will close at around 7 p.m. Eastern Time. In the run-up to Election Day, the race has tightened up in recent weeks, but the latest polls show Hillary Clinton got a mild bounce from the latest FBI announcement saying she should not face criminal charges after its review of new emails. Clinton leads her rival Donald Trump by 4 points nationally in both a CBS News poll and ABC/Washington Post poll, both out Monday. Barring any complications, the final outcome is expected to be out by Wednesday morning in the U.S. But by around Tuesday evening in the States, or Wednesday at about noon in Korea, it's normally clear who won. That person is the candidate who gets 270 of the available 538 electoral votes. Inauguration Day for the 45th President of the United States will be on January 20th, 2017. And that's all from me. Thank you for watching. Business Daily is next.